In the 18th and 19th centuries, Brazil was the largest producer of coffee in the world, with coffee plantations covering vast areas of land. However, the growth of the coffee industry was heavily dependent on slave labor, with millions of Africans brought to Brazil to work in the fields. The coffee industry in Brazil began in the early 18th century, and by the mid-19th century, it had become the country's primary export. The demand for coffee created a need for vast amounts of labor, and with the banning of the transatlantic slave trade, Brazilian plantation owners turned to the internal slave trade to maintain their workforce. Life on the coffee plantations was brutal for the enslaved Africans. They were forced to work long hours in the scorching heat, often with little or no rest. They were subject to harsh punishments for even the slightest offenses, and their living conditions were often squalid. Despite the terrible conditions, the enslaved Africans on the coffee plantations contributed to the growth of the Brazilian economy through their hard work and labor. They also left their mark on Brazilian culture, with African traditions and customs influencing many aspects of Brazilian life, such as the use of spices in cuisine. In 1888, slavery was officially abolished in Brazil. This was a significant milestone in the country's history, but the legacy of slavery still has an impact on Brazilian society today. In conclusion, the coffee plantations in Brazil during the period of slavery were vast agricultural properties that relied heavily on the labor of enslaved Africans. Despite the exploitation, the enslaved Africans left a lasting impact on the history of the country, contributing to the development of the Brazilian economy and culture. Their cultural and agricultural legacies are still felt in Brazilian society today and serve as an important reminder of a past that must not be forgotten. Did you know all these information? Let a comment below. Thanks for watching and see you soon.